The next question is, how much should both of you contribute towards your joint expenses, and how do you arrive at a number that works for both of you? Now we know that in case of two states, where they are the perfect couple in love and working really hard to be together, they earn the same amount, so the contributions are equal. It's a match made in heaven, so it's very easy for them to manage their money. Whereas in case of Ki and Kao, we know that one person's earning, so obviously it is the responsibility of the earning member to take care of the expenses of the family. However, what do you do when one partner is earning more and the other partner is earning less? In such kind of a disparity, how do you arrive at that right contribution that works for both of you, so neither of you feel that probably I am not doing enough or he is doing enough? Let's not have these kind of questions and conflicts arrive. We've always believed that when you're married and you're working together and you are trying and aspiring to manage your money together, then it is your responsibility to talk about it and come to a consensus together. Anyway, the way in which you can contribute can be in two ways. One, you can contribute equally towards your joint expenses. Now this situation works for two states couple or where the difference in your income is not much. Say one is earning 1 lakh rupees a month and the other is earning 80,000 rupees a month. Both of you contribute 50,000 rupees a month towards your joint expenses. The other situation is where you contribute in proportion to your income, which kind of seem fair also for most of the couples, because in this situation, say one person's earning a lot and the second person is earning less comparatively, then contributing a fixed percentage of your income is fair and both of you can have your savings and investments. So let's understand this with the example of our Tamasha couple. We know that Tamasha couple is a couple where Tara is a working professional and a salaried individual and Ved is a freelancer or business owner. So clearly there is a huge income disparity between the two of them. We know that Tara earns a lot more money and she earns a fixed income, whereas Ved earns erratic income, and currently he's come to a thing that okay, I earn around 50,000 rupees each month. But definitely that could change. So let's quickly see that how will their cash flows. So the thing is, they have their salary accounts and they have their individual investment accounts in which they transfer their savings each month, and of course they have a joint expense account in which they would transfer money for their expenses. Now, how much should they transfer towards their joint expenses will be a function of how much do they earn and what sort of an understanding do they have between each other. Now, along with this, the third factor which also helps you determine who transfers how much towards the expenses is taxation. So the one who is in the higher tax bracket, basically the spouse who's earning more, right, should spend more than the person who is earning less and hence is in a lower tax bracket, because then as a family you save taxes together. We shall be discussing this in detail in our next session of taxation, but it's also important to understand that it's not only about who's going to spend how much and we have to do everything equal. It's about doing things equitably. So let's look at the numbers. We know that Tara is earning 2.5 lakh rupees each month. She is at a very good position in her company, whereas Ved, because of his nature of business, currently can only commit 50,000 rupees each month. So option one is that they contribute in equal proportion towards their joint expenses. So where they decide that their savings are 40% of their income each month, they both save so much money first. So 40% of Tara's income comes to 1 lakh rupees and 40% of Ved's income comes to 20,000 rupees. So that they're transferring in their individual investment accounts, and balance 60% of their income they are transferring in their joint expense account. So Tara is transferring 1,50,000 rupees and Ved is transferring 30,000 rupees. Now this seems to be a decent situation, so that the person who is earning more or less does not feel that they are not contributing enough for their living expenses together. However, when there is a major income disparity like it is in the case of Tara and Ved, they could in fact go ahead one step and decide that all the monthly expenses will be taken care of by Tara, and Ved would continue to save and invest his money so that when he earns from those investments, the tax burden is reduced. So now Tara, whenever she saves anything and invests that, the earnings from those investments will also be taxed at a higher rate because she is currently taxed at the highest rate possible. Whereas Ved's income is not taxed at all. He still falls under the minimum income limits. So we advise them that why don't you do the other way around, where Tara contributes total 1,80,000 rupees towards joint expenses. She saves the balance amount and transfers it to her investment account, and Ved invests and saves the entire 50,000 rupees. Now we know that there has to be a understanding, a level of trust between the partners, and where you have that. As we have discussed earlier as well, that your paycheck does not determine who has a higher say in your cash flow and money management of the family, right? It is very important for you to understand that you both are equal when it comes to managing money, and you both are doing this so that you as a family can grow and prosper. Once this understanding is set and the communication becomes clearer, it will be easy for both of you to rise above, such things like, we have to contribute equal. She's spending more, I'm spending less. He's a saver, I'm a saver. Where did you spend the money? Did not inform me. I mean, the arguments can be endless. So if you are a couple like Tara and Ved, where your income disparity is high, this example can be an interesting conversation starter for the two of you, and you can analyze as to how you want to manage your cash flows. In fact, in the next session, once we introduce the layer of taxation as well, it will become very clear to you as to why we are advising that one person should spend and the other person should save. So in conclusion, just want to say that however you decide to contribute for your V expenses, understand that both of you should be comfortable, you should trust each other and communicate about it openly. No matter who takes the lead in investing the money or managing the money, both of you have access to everything.